Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. Here's a New Hampshire trend that has state leaders and my guest paying attention. There are thousands more New Hampshire job openings than New Hampshire unemployed workers. What does that really tell us? We're going to find out. Take a look at these numbers from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and the New Hampshire Fiscal Policy Institute. 46,000 job openings, 16,300 unemployed workers. And then there's this from the New Hampshire Department of Business and Economic Affairs, a report. New Hampshire faces major job gap for the next decade. The projected job openings, 197,000. Projected labor force growth, 6,100. The plan to deal with that, attract and retain New Hampshire commuters that go over the border to work, attract workers outside New Hampshire and New England. Now, with me to help explain what all of this really tells us is Phil Sletton, who is Research Director for the New Hampshire Fiscal Policy Institute. Phil, welcome.
Thank you very much, Fred. It's
nice to have you here. Putting on your research hat for the future, what do those numbers tell us?
Yeah, so those numbers tell us two things. One, the workforce shortage that we currently see in New Hampshire is quite acute, right? There's not enough workers to fill all the available jobs. And that suggests that some of the more, the problems that we have now with housing, with accessibility of childcare, are things that are constraining the labor force.
Yep.
But also that the COVID-19 pandemic really probably just accelerated some of the long-term demographic trends that suggest that we in New Hampshire have a long-term demographic challenge when it comes to having the labor force of the prime working age in New Hampshire.
Right. Now, let's put a graphic up. This is the unemployment rate in New Hampshire from May, because it's the most recent number we have, 1.9%. That's a steep decline, the lowest in the nation, and I understand it's the lowest here since the 1970s. One would think this is good news, Phil, but is it?
Yeah, so this record low unemployment rate and record started in early 1976. It's a preliminary number, so it could be revised, but it does show that not only are all the workers who are seeking work not necessarily having trouble finding them, but also finding employment, but also that the size of the labor force itself is still smaller than it was in New Hampshire prior to the pandemic. Again, that's a long-term trend that's driven in part by demographics, but that shows that the total number of people who are either working or looking for work in the state is still lower than it was before.
Yeah. You give briefings to the legislature on a regular basis and others, and you showed them why people are staying out of the workforce. What's the main? Well, the main reason doesn't surprise me, but we all know what it is. Two of them, housing and childcare, right? Yeah,
the housing constraint is one that keeps people from moving into the state. Historically, New Hampshire has benefited from significant in-migration to grow our labor force. With a housing constraint like the one we have now, with limited available homes for purchase and rental, means it's harder for people to move here. Childcare is also a significant constraint. So over the last year or so, the average number of people per month saying that they are not in the workforce because they are providing childcare to a child not in school or in daycare, it's about 15,000 people. Interestingly enough, about 15,000 people is the total number of people who said they were unemployed in May of 2023. So if all those people were to suddenly be in the workforce, which isn't exactly how it would happen, but if all those people were suddenly be in the workforce, it would double the number of people unemployed in the state.
Well, the new state budget, as you well know, has good news for two major reasons: constraining the growth of New Hampshire's workforce, $50 million grants and loans for affordable housing and homeless shelters, and then $15 million to recruit and retain child care workers. It also lifts the cap on income eligibility for child care scholarships. Now, Phil, this is helpful legislation, clearly, but given the gap that we have just talked about, is it enough?
Yeah, so it's hard to say whether it is enough or not, especially looking at that long-term gap over time. The child care investments might have an impact sooner because those are infusing money into a system that has trouble finding workers itself, but it would ramp up services to provide scholarships to both households, because a pretty significant expansion in household eligibility for public assistance. Of course, those households have to know and enroll in that eligibility, and also more funding to child care centers. Housing is a capital-intensive constraint, and one that's constraint that's been 2 decades in the making. Hard to turn that around quickly.
It's going to take longer to do that.
Yes.
Phil Sletton, Research Director for the New Hampshire Fiscal Policy Institute. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And if you missed part of this briefing, you can go to WMUR.com, where it will be posted all this week.